Hi, this is Craig, and in this video I'm going to talk a little bit about support and resistance and what to look for on a chart. The first thing we want to look at are the previous highs and lows. You can see up here that this stock pulled back, and when it rallied again it ran into resistance at the previous high. So that's one thing you want to look at when you're looking for stocks to short, is if the stock is running into resistance at a previous high. Now, to look for stocks to go long, you can see you want to look for a stock that pulls back to a previous low. So you can see this stock pulled back to right around $45 here. It rallied and it found support at the previous low over here. So you want to look at the previous highs and the previous lows, and that'll give you a good idea of where a stock might want to reverse. Now, another thing that we look for are trend lines. In this chart, you can see you can draw little short-term trend lines like this, or you can draw longer-term trend lines like that. And stocks will often run into resistance or find support at a trend line. So you want to pay attention to that when you're looking at charts. The next thing we want to look at is congestion, and these are congestion. When traders talk about congestion, they're just talking about areas where candles are overlapping. So you can see, if you look over here, you can see all of these candles are overlapping. This is congestion, so it's having a hard time getting through this area. That was what we would call resistance. So you want to look to the left on the chart and see if there's a bunch of overlapping candles at a particular price area. If there is, then you can bet that it's going to have a hard time getting through it. Now, this congestion right here, although it's resistance right now, it can become support later on. So if this stock breaks out through here and goes up to, say, 50 and then pulls back again, it's likely going to find support right here at this congestion area. So look for congestion on the chart, and you can easily find support and resistance areas that way. The last thing is not really too well known, but it's what I call pretty numbers. And what this means is just, stocks that have nice even round numbers. Like, for example, right here, this stock, it rallied up to this area right here, and it's right at $60. Well, $60 is a nice pretty number. Traders might think to themselves, well, I'm going to get out of this stock as soon as it hits 60. They wouldn't say, I'm going to get out of this stock as soon as it hits 57. They're going to say, 60. They're going to round it off to nice, pretty, even numbers. This stock right here is constantly running into resistance at 35. 35 would be another pretty number you would look at. So you can see these stocks running into resistance or finding support at these pretty numbers, as I call them, more easily on intraday charts, but a lot of times you will see it on the daily too. So for support and resistance, you want to look at the previous highs and lows, look at trend lines, look at congestion areas where you have overlapping candles, and look for these pretty numbers. Take care.